All right. Last week, that announcement was made that of the partial closure of the Lagos Island-bound lane of the 3rd Mainland Bridge between Adekunle to Adeniji-Adede for the next 3 months. The announcement is coming after government says it has completed the first phase of the rehabilitation. You know, it's a 6-month plan. First 3 months this side, and first 3 months on the flip side. So how far so far, and where do we go from here? The General Manager of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority joins us this morning, Mr. Olajide Odiye. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning.
And we also have Mr. Jide Ologun, who is a public affairs analyst. Thank you also for your time.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, Jide, maybe you want to, give us a brief update. How far so far?
Well, thank you for that. The bridge work started on the 24th of July, and the promise to the nation or to the people of Lagos was that it was going to take 6 months. So 3 months for the first phase, which is now to deal with the joint repair from the Adeniji end of the bridge towards Oworosheki, but only up to Adekunle intersection. And then the following 3 months, which will be phase 2, will be from the Adekunle intersection towards Adeniji-Adele on that section for the next 3 months. Lo and behold, we're supposed to be 1 month into the second phase, right? But the NSAS situation changed all that, and then there was a bit of rain that came up. So 1 month has been added to the plan, which is not good news, so to speak, for our normal commuters. But what needs to be done needs to be done. So instead of the work finishing at the end of January, the 24th as planned, it will now be ending on the 24th of February, 2021.
Any assurance that we'll not have an extra month again?
Well, in life and when these sort of things happen,
force majeure,
it's only God can give assurance of anything. The point is the work is on schedule. They're there on site, they're doing the work. So the plan as of today is that, yes, they'll finish by the end of February. And I don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. Things have happened in Lagos. So many things happen. We didn't plan for a co-bridge for repairs. It needed to be done. Bridge was closed, started repairing it. So anything can happen. We're in Nigeria.
Mr. Logan, I do crave your indulgence. I still need to stay with him for a bit. Yes, Mr. Dioye, I'm so happy you're here with us because we have so many questions to ask you.
As usual.
Now, can you please explain to me why there's so much traffic in Lagos at the moment, especially heading from the mainland to the island? Sometimes it takes as many as 3-4 hours to get from Ikeja to the center of Lagos Island.
How many hours do you have? But let me see how I can compress it. Traffic in Lagos is nothing new, all right?
It's getting worse.
Well, I'll explain why it's getting worse. In any major city, metropolitan city like Lagos, where you don't particularly have a mass transit movement system, you would always envisage that would happen. So that is Lagos for yourself. So we don't have passenger rail and we don't have rail freight, all right? So what are the factors that cause major problems in Lagos? The truck drivers going to Apapa axis because the rail freight is not in existence. Commuters, mainly coming from the mainland area, obviously from Ogun State as well, everybody rushing, commuting towards Lagos Island. All the businesses, all the big people, all the big men, they're in Lagos Island. Everybody wants to rush in there. The Bible talks about affiliate yourself with the big people so that you can be big as well. Then you have major roadworks going on at the moment. Lagos State is working in Lagos. The federal government is working. So many roads are under repairs right now, or rehabilitation. Apapa Axis, Apapa Oworosheki Express Road. We've talked about the 3rd Mainland Bridge, Eko Bridge, Ikorodu Road. And then you now mount other roads that are not being worked on, but they are bad. For example, even just one that is close to us, Maryland Independence Tunnel. That is so bad. Ojota work is going on. Mile 12 is going on. Apapa Oworosheki is work that's going on. There are some patches there. And so when all these things happen, you now have where you have 2 lanes, 3 lanes compressed or turned into 1 lane. And everyone is going. Now, the sudden increase in the traffic flow from mainland, especially in the Third Mainland Bridge, and even the alternative routes, which is now Ido Axis or Eco Bridge, it's because a lot of commuters, the fact that there are few buses, as in BRT buses, on the road. So they have gone back now to go and take their cars, because those that are riding the buses, which is where the government wanted to be, where we all need to be, is that leave your cars at home and use BRT. It is faster, it's more convenient. Now, we have burnt a few of those buses, so the supply is limited. People have gone back into their cars, and they're now sort of like increasing the existing problem. Now, when the changeover happened last weekend, mind you that the free flow of traffic from the mainland towards Lagos Island is free flow. There's no diversion, all right? So that has changed now. So the free flow is those coming from the Lagos Island, coming towards Oworoshoki. Now the Lagos bound, which is even a higher traffic because of the number of hours in between. And I'll explain. In the morning when you go to work, you need to be at work for 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30 at most. So everyone is leaving home at a certain period, maybe 6, because of safety. You can't leave home at 5 or whatever, especially if you're female or elderly. You have to leave around 6:30. So everybody is compressed like that. However, the first 3 months, 4 months now, they had the space from 1 p.m. till closing time of 5 before the commuters coming back. So, but you've already had a lot of traffic going over the Third Mainland Bridge. But now in the morning, you now have to divert. One, any diversion, traffic tails back, and then you have the other going back into Fin. And so when you look at the two brought together, you're bound to find queue length of traffic going back all the way to 7-Up.
Okay,
and that's what's going on.
Well, erudite as that sounds, Mr. Ologun, so many roads being fixed at the same time. Alternative roads, not particularly pleasant. And the idea of fixing the roads, definitely, especially such a critical road as the Third Mainland Bridge, no doubt something that has to be done. Do you think we thought it through properly to have all of these massive work going on at the same time? The federal government on the one hand and the state government on the other hand in the same city, or the most populous or about the most populous in the country?
Brilliant question. And I want to approach it from the fact that this maintenance is necessary now. And if it is not done, we may have a total collapse. And it's about our having the infrastructure overwhelmed by the population growth rate, by the expanding business activities. But that's a discussion for another day. Historically, the Qatar Bridge was constructed in 1901, then dismantled around the 1960 where we gained independence. The Eco Bridge, one of the 3 bridges connecting the island with the mainland, was constructed between 1965 and 1975. The Third Mainland Bridge we're talking about, the first phase was commissioned by Alhaji Shehu Shagari in 1980, and the completion by IBB in 1990. And as at that point in time, it was monumental. The longest bridge in Africa, until Cairo broke that in 1996. All right. And what should have happened is for us to carry out sustained maintenance that will not bring us to the point where we need to shut it down for a long time to effectively maintain. And having said that also, we are expected to have had more than 3 bridges linking the island with the mainland if we forecasted the business interaction that would take place between the two. And I must commend Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for that vision. He came up with the vision of the Fourth Mainland Bridge that was to commence in 2017 and be completed in 2019. But here we are. And I think it was to cost about 840-something billion naira. And today you look at the dollar rate, which we have not started. But that's a good news. By the special grace of God, I have a team that can source for financing for that Fourth Mainland Bridge if the government really wants it done. And that brings us to the issue of development. You know now that the United Nations
Sorry, but before you go to that
Yes.
one, very, very interesting, I have to say, but there's something critical that you talked about, and that's the maintenance. First is the culture. Second is the system. You talked about those bridges that were built and the fact that they were built and left there. No system to ensure that they are maintained, roll off the asphalt after some time, relay the asphalt and all of that, especially for a city like Lagos. If we do not evolve that system, what Mr. Dioye is contending with now would be piecemeal compared to what will happen to us in another 10 years. What do we need to do to strengthen those systems?
We need to make our system effective and operational, not just have them in place. I use an example. We moved to Washington from Columbia. And when we were going, there was nothing happening on the road, no potholes, nothing. But when we were coming back late in the night, we saw construction work going on with their lights, not disturbing traffic. And I asked my nephew, hey, Chuni, what's going on here? He said, Uncle, they're trying to fix it. That on their maintenance register, that road must have expired. Without potholes, without nothing. So you find...
Wait, say that again.
Yes, that road must have expired. So you find a government...
So how many expired roads do we have in Nigeria?
if we start that discussion now... and I'll give you...
All roads are expired.
I will
In
give
Lagos
you...
at the moment.
Yes.
The only one that is not expired, maybe Bodilon, Afedrowani. We're doing Papa Oshodi Expressway right
Not
now.
Alfred Rowani.
Afedrowani is not expired.
Have you seen the potholes on that road? It is among the roughest roads in Lagos.
Afedrowani in Ikoyi.
Yes.
No.
Former Kingsway Road.
It's been resurfaced, so it's spray. So it's not expired. To date, it's
I
not
was on that
expired.
road this morning.
We are road people. we are road
I was
people.
on that road this morning, sir,
What kind of-
between
What kind of
Falomo
vehicle are you driving?
and
Shock absorber and co?
and a brand new SUV
Okay.
belonging to Channels Television.
right.
Between Falomo and Glover Road,
Uh-huh.
the road is very rough.
Okay, we'll fix it. Babaji Desowolu will fix it. He will fix it. It's not expired.
But you are saying
Okay,
now
but it's
that
rough.
of all the roads that we have, very few are not expired.
That is an affirmative.
Oh,
Please
dear.
continue.
Okay,
Mr. Dioye.
let me just answer your
you
question
given
straight
up?
away.
No, I'm just... That's the information that we needed.
I
so.
think I can make reference to what I have witnessed in recent times. In the course of the last few days, I visited Elisha in Osun State, and you needed to come and see the kind of roads that are in that region. Recently, I was in Enugu, Abia State, and Akwa Ibom, and I must say Akwa Ibom has fantastic roads. Okay. Abia, I don't want to talk about it. Enugu. So we have these challenges in the country. And it has to do with the governance mindset. The governance mindset in the US is that people need to move. In fact, I moved to Canada from the US by road, 12 hours. I keep thanking God for that experience. You see, and you see how the nation is connected by roads. And it supports your economic activities. We talk about food crisis in Nigeria. We have food wasting in the hinterland. Yeah. How do you move them to where they are needed? How do you process them? And I will link that also with our governance mindset. For example, the United States of America government cannot imagine that people live in communities without electricity. So for them, it's a fundamental human right that you should have electricity. But look at our country. The first power station that was installed in Lagos, in Broad Street, was in 1898. And today we are still struggling to provide electricity. So we need to go back to the spirit of the Constitution. If you read Section 16 of the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 as amended, it says that the state shall harness the resources to provide maximum happiness. Provide, I like
that maximum happiness part, but I'd like to hear more of it when we return from this break. Please stay with us. Well, thanks for staying with us. We still have Mr. Ologun and Mr. Dioye here. So, just a very quick one on this expired roads. It's the maintenance that worries me more than even the fact that they're expired. Is there a system of ensuring that we cut down on the man-hour spent on the roads by fixing the roads and ensuring that they do not get bad before they expire, while people use them?
I think
just
like
a system thing.
Yeah, I think like Mr. Logan said, there's no system anywhere that does not require finance. You've got to be able to afford. You must put money aside for certain things. And unfortunately, the maintenance regime in our country over any sphere of our lifestyle is very poor, I must say. It doesn't matter whether it's just about the roads. Just look at the kind of vehicles that we put on the road. We don't even personally, we don't want to maintain our vehicles because we think we have other more important things to do, forgetting that this vehicle that we're putting on the road, we rely on it. So when they break down on the road, it will come and cause the congestion. So if you don't maintain the road as the government should do and put money aside in the budget, it's not a budget of just putting money there and then use it for something else. This is like a must because why? It borders on safety and the preservation of lives. Because if the road is bad, one simple pothole and the street light goes off and you don't see it at night and you're a female driver and you go into that pothole, your vehicle, your tire is going to get busted. So where exactly are you supposed to park to repair or to change that tire? So your life is already in danger. Yeah. So it's not just a matter of issue of traffic buildup. It's a safety issue. And we're not taking it serious enough. And that is the truth. The system that's supposed to be in place is the manner of a road use, which is now the traffic volume on a particular road, will tell you the maintenance regime on it. The classification of vehicles, if lorries are using it, buses are using it, and cars. So the volume determines, because the more weight you put on asphalt, that is more as it wears down on the thing. So there are certain roads that every month, there must be a team going out to check. In fact, there are some classes of roads. There must be a team that goes out every night. You see one small pothole, before it degenerates into a bigger crate, you quickly fix it. That is maintenance. Because one small pothole, when it rains, within 1 hour, when it rains heavily, begins to heat up.
Well, why are we not doing that?
Why are we not doing it? Why are we not doing it? That's a major question. We're not doing it right now because someone has not said this money allocated for this purpose for each budget year. You cannot touch it for something else. It must go in there. We collect tolls at certain roads. Why are we not using the tolls to maintain those roads, whatever it is? Why are we not doing that? Because you see, you can't just tax everyone. Not everyone has a car or go on the road. Of course, we need movement. But there are people who walk. But for those of us who drive, we must contribute towards the passageway that we enjoy.
Okay. Well, very, very quick one. There was something Alera said earlier, and I think this borders on road management itself, the traffic management itself, and that's the fact that, she said earlier that, she'll get to certain points, what in the world is the reason for this traffic? And then you get there, what do you find? Nothing. Just commuter buses, parking in the middle of the road, stopping where, of course, unorthodox places just to pick passengers and all of that. How do you address that? Especially when you see LASTMA officers there and they seem helpless to take care of this.
Well, I'm not sure if you listened to the news. There was a riot act that was read by the Commissioner of Transport last week, Dr. Fedola Dende, obviously following the concerns from Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And we read the riot act to them. We invited them in because at the end of the day, people would say, are you collaborating with these people? Because they're a union, NURTW, RTEAN. And they were at the meeting, right? And at that meeting, I asked a specific question of them. I said, you're not the only association in this country. Why is it that you're the only association that is collecting its dues on the road? All right? That's number one. Number two, the game must change. We've been relying on yellow bus, small commuter transportation for a 10 million commuter kind of people, or over 20 million people in a state that is covered into the ocean. We don't even have land space like Abuja where you can say population growth can expand across and you still be part of the city. Here, we're just cornered to the sea. So except we're walking backwards towards Ogun State, it's like we are choked in here. Okay, so that is the case. Why are we in a system that we are relying majorly on yellow buses, the danfo, to commute us? Why? And this has been going on from the day I knew the sky was blue. And we're still there. So something is missing. And I will say it because it is missing. It cannot, as long as we depend on the unregulated operation of the yellow buses, as long as there's individual interests, as long as the hustling spirit is inside every individual, that problem that you've just mentioned is more than likely. Because why? LASTMA will stand there.
And who is supposed to regulate this unregulated?
The government. The government is supposed to regulate. Minister of Transport is supposed to regulate.
Okay.
We just have numbers and everything. When I say regulate, I mean you just can't go and buy a bus. You just can't go and buy a bus and place it on the road because your interest will be different from mine. And when you get there before me, if I feel I can pick up passengers before you, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Logo.
Now, before you go to Mr. Logo.
Yeah, because we need to round up. No, go ahead.
How old should a car be before it begins to go for roadworthiness test? And I ask this because some cars that look like new are being asked for their roadworthiness tests, and beside them, I see worn-out trucks and danfo buses with no windscreen. Sometimes they just put nylon sheets in the back as a back screen, and those they don't get any penalty for not being roadworthy. But seemingly new cars are being pulled aside that you have not got your roadworthiness certificate. Where is it?
Technically speaking, roadworthiness should apply to every vehicle on the road.
Even a brand new car?
Yes, even a brand new car. Because brand new cars break down too. And
But they're roadworthy?
No. They're not roadworthy until the certificate says it is roadworthy. And I'll give you an example of why that is the case. If you bought a brand new car today, let's say, for example, a Camry, Toyota Camry, and now buy the same Toyota Camry, but you're using yours privately just to go to work, you commute to work, you go to the market, supermarket, and you come back home. You're not running your Camry over. And I use mine for Uber. I am on the road, piling up mileage, going on these so-called bad roads and expired roads every single day. At the end of 6 months, what state will your vehicle be in and what state will mine be in?
Brand new.
Exactly. Right? You know what I'm saying? So if I now make that same argument, that why you're not dealing with my sister, ask her for roadworthiness, and you're asking me, how does that par out?
But does that mean that these trucks with the nylon sheets are still roadworthy even though they get a certificate?
They're not roadworthy. When you say
but they're on the roads.
You should pull them in.
They are pulling them in.
Okay.
It's only because you're not seeing it. A lot of people say, oh, the same thing they will say, LASTMA is not arresting yellow buses. And I keep on asking them, who is offending? I have over 2,000 offenders, yellow buses in a single day. How many would I arrest? Where would we put them?
Okay.
And people say, oh, you only arrest private car. The point is, we can appeal to private car owners because they have a better understanding. They're not hustling. They're not looking for money or whatever. So you're just astounded that they will be the ones to be doing wrong things.
Believe me,
so
they're looking for money as well. But yes, Mr. Logo, let's just wrap this up very quickly. Let's wrap this up because, we're completely out of time. But going forward, as a government, as a people, what would be your recommendation?
We need regulations. Section 14, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended says that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. I cannot imagine a danfo bus driving into New York in the state it is. It's not even allowed.
How could you say that?
I mean, let's be realistic. We compared our pump price of petroleum with that of Saudi Arabia. We can compare. If you don't benchmark yourself with the developed country, you are not likely to develop.
Okay.
Things work out there. Regulations.
Where is that comparison getting us?
You see, if for example, our parents did not embark on that journey, many of us will not be educated today. We need to learn. Our leaders travel. And it should be easier and greater for them to develop Nigeria. You need to, sir. Singapore left Malaysia in 1965. a poor country.
See where they are
Today is one of the best countries to live and to work in the world.
I could sit here
Look at
and listen to you.
You see, so what we need to do, we need to regulate the environment.
Okay.
You see, if some people have created their pseudo-government and they are frustrating the government, it is deliberate.
All
I
right.
keep asking the question, why should we allow them, whether for personal reasons or whatever reasons?
Well, Mr. Logan,
If Lagos is a mega city, we need to witness that status.
Yeah.
There's a huge, any state that
Mr.
is
Logan,
next to the ocean and disorganized.
We really have to go now.
Also, it's
But I have
we need to wake up.
we have to really thank you very much for this morning. Mr. Ajide Logo is a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much.
God bless Nigeria.
And the general manager of LASTMA, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority. I've learned that one. So roads do expire. Okay. Mr. Olajide Odioye, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.